Hey guys, so we are at Dollar Tree. I don't know if you remember, those of you who've been watching me for a long time, and thank you to those of you that have, and thanks to those who are new. So hey, what's up? We're at Dollar Tree doing the $5 challenge because we did it a couple years ago and it was really popular, and I've been seeing it on some other people's channels, but also like I moved from the Midwest to Louisiana, so I want to see what's different. I know mine has a frozen section, like a pretty massive frozen section, so that's cool because I'm trying to do something different. Last time we did rice, we did pinto beans, we did pasta, and so I'm gonna have to shake it up and do it different. So let's see what we can find. For real, the Dollar Tree never ceases to amaze. They have litter boxes and cat litter for $1. Really? So theirs is way bigger. I live in Covington, Louisiana now, and my old, which is about an hour north of New Orleans, my old Dollar Tree in La Vista, Nebraska, which was a suburb of Omaha, was about half the size of this one. And so many things. And guys, I will be honest with you, I did not figure it out yet. I bought like 10 things, and I'm probably gonna do 2 sets of $5 meals for you. And this time what I'm gonna do is, the vegan was more popular, way more popular. So I did vegan. I hope I didn't mess it up. I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian, but try to do vegan. And I'm probably gonna do 2 sets of what you can get for $5. Instead of the 9 meals, I'm just gonna do how many meals you can get out of it, but I will include, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's raining right now. It's really gloomy in Covington. Anyway, also really cool, some of the stores here like get mad at you if you don't take your stuff out of the basket, because I just had like a little basket, and this girl was so cool. She's like, just leave it in there. It's more work for you. It's more work for me. I'll just ring it up for you. So that was pretty cool. So pretty cool experience. Found a lot of good stuff, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So let me figure that out, and then I'm going to provide you some options on what it would be like if you were just trying to do, you know, $5 for a few days worth of food. All right, friends, I have very massively, I apologize, I procrastinated the hell out of this one, so it's been a while, but we're gonna do it. Let's see what we can do with these $5 meals. First of all, totally unrelated, but so excited. I have 5 foster kittens coming over. 5! That was not the original plan, but then I agreed to it, and it's a whole thing, but I'll show them to you when they get here. They're gonna be so cute. Apparently one of them's a real jerk, but whatever, we'll find them homes. So I'll show you the kittens when they get here. I'm super excited about that. But let me show you what I got. I do have to warn you firsthand. Sorry. Went through a hurricane. Hurricane was now a couple months ago, but again, I procrastinated like all get out. So went through a hurricane, and my fridge, my stuff never went bad. I had a backup generator that my brother hooked into the panel. He's an electrician. You're not supposed to do that, he's an electrician. Anyway, so so some of the stuff like defrost a little bit, but never fully on, you know, and so it's not bad, but it looks wonky donkey. Sorry. Did I just make that up? Wonky donkey, who says that? Anyway, let me show you what I got. So we got Quick Oats, which is a really big bag of Quick Oats for $1 at the Dollar Tree, which is amazing. I gotta say, I do feel like this is easier to do like at Walmart, because you can buy 50-cent like vegetable things and kind of break up and get more ingredients. So on the recipes for these, I had to get real creative, and it's gonna be real interesting to see how they turned out. Like I said, I got 10 things. Technically, I got 11 things. And the 11th thing was egg rolls, veggie egg rolls, which were bomb. Like veggie egg rolls at the Dollar Tree. And I think this is a pretty decent package. I got like 2 snacks out of it. So yeah, in this first group, we also have coconut milk, which is so versatile, can be used for so many things. A package of potato gnocchi, which I fell in love with, which I think I've talked about this before when I moved to California, when I went to college there. And then the 4th thing in this group is pineapple. I was trying to get some proteins in where I could and get some veggies in where I could, but it's real hard when you're that limited on the budget and you're limited to the Dollar Tree. But we're gonna see how it goes. And told you, wonky. Got these vegetables, which are a stir-fry blend, so that'll be good. In the second group, we have tomato soup. It says 30% bigger, but it's a 14-ounce can, so I'm like 30% bigger than what? Like, oh, it is condensed. I guess the condensed cans are usually smaller, right? Anyway, tomato soup. Just like Mom used to get, my brother and I joke about that all the time. Like, remember that crappy condensed soup we used to get in a can? Brown rice cakes. Veggie burgers. There's 2 veggie burgers in here. And they do look pretty decent, but look at this. 100% vegetarian. When did you ever think you would find that at the Dollar Tree, right? Cool. And they also had veggie meatballs. I'm a little scared about what happened in here, what these are gonna look like, but I think they'll still taste good, right? And then I got for a base this big old pizza crust, which I accidentally cracked. I'm human, bear with me. And it is, I was looking to see if it said, because I'm terrible at guessing measurements. Like, I don't know, 14 inches, maybe? I don't know, but it's a really decent size, you know. You know what? I'll measure it. Hold on. That's right. I keep a tiny tape measure in my kitchen because I'm weird like that. Okay, I bought this house a year ago. It's now been officially this week a year since I moved to Louisiana. And still doing a lot of house projects. Probably will be for like till the end of time. See, this is how sucky I am at this. It's 11.5 inches. Anyway, still real good size. So we're gonna make 2 totally separate sets of meals and see how far each of these $5 sets of meals go at the Dollar Tree. And if you had $5, I'm thinking, let's guess. We're gonna guess. I think I can probably do, I have no idea, 6 or 7 meals out of each one. Let's see if that guess is anywhere near close. All right, group 1. I was way off, way off. What did I say, 6 or 7 meals for $5 for each group? No, I think it's way more. Okay, let's talk about what we did and how much I made and if it's any good. And also, I'm gonna give you a lot of options for like spices you may have at home to shake this up to make it more interesting. So first we've got pineapple oats. And I did not measure anything. I cut the pineapple pretty big because I'm cool with it. That way, if you want to cut it smaller, do your thing. It's just water, oats, pineapple. I did a little cinnamon, a little salt. You could do, if you have sugar and you want more sugar in there, you could do that. That's an option. I don't. I actually would add more salt. I haven't tasted it yet, but I'm just guessing. Because I like that sweet and salty, like, you know, combination. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, be a pretty good breakfast. I would definitely have more salt because I like that sweet and salty, or you could have more sugar. Or if you like it a little plainer, just leave it right like this. Also, if you wanted to add a little more protein, like if you have more than $5, if you had $6, they do a lot of times at the Dollar Tree have soy milk. So you could go ahead and add that in here instead of part of the water. Like you want your water and pineapple juice combined to be about double what the oats is. And this was about, I would say like a third of the bag. And the bag did say vegan, which is funny. I don't think there's oats that aren't vegan, but whatever, I thought it was cool. Next, with the rest of the oats, which I started out, you'll see the video, I did it kind of wrong. I had to add a lot more oats because I had way too much water. So it ended up making a ton. So this is the rest of the bag of oats. And I started out making these veggie balls. Woo, buddy. Which I baked in about 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And then as I was doing it, I was like, you know, I wonder how this would be as a loaf. Let's try that out. Which also took about 10 minutes. So this is half of the veggies, the rest of the oats, and some water and some salt and pepper. And you could add other spices if you want it. I just went plain this time, but you could do, I'm not even gonna cut it. Like they're pretty bite-sized. Like I did them with the scoop, ice cream scoop. They're pretty good. If you have any condiments like barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, anything, even packets you took from somewhere, you could totally use them on this. And these are so I don't want to say plain, but they are, that you could use any spice would jazz them up. Like, so if you want them to be Mexican veggie balls, go for it. If you want Thai veggie balls, if you want Italian, like, whatever. Anything would work, really. And the oats are satiating, like they're filling, which is nice because when you're working on a limited budget, you don't want to be hungry all the time. You want to be full, right? So next, speaking of things that can take on any flavor, these gnocchi and coconut milk, both these flavors, you could add almost anything to it. You know, any other vegetables you have, any spices, anything to kind of change up the flavor. If you have some extra cheese, you could throw that in there. Let's try this out and see. I'm gonna guess it's kind of plain because right now I only did salt and pepper. It is, but it's plain in a good way. Like, you know when your mom would make you butter noodles as a kid and it was just magical? All it was butter and noodles, sometimes some salt. Yeah, this is great. I probably, even Cajun seasoning in here would be good. I'm thinking of throwing some Thai seasoning in here. That's a really satisfying meal. So let's talk about how much this did. We got a crap ton of oatmeal, right? I'm gonna say this is probably 4 or 5 days worth. Let's go with 4. Say, you know, for someone who eats more. The veggie balls, this is probably, and I ate one, probably 2 servings. And this is probably another, I don't know, 4 servings. Like, this is really filling. Well, okay, let's say you're doing it. If you're doing this as a whole meal, let's say it's 2. Let's say 3. Okay, let's say that's your whole meal. You're just eating the veggie loaf or veggie balls. So we'll say that's 3. So we're up to 7, right? And this, again, let's go with you're only eating that. You're not eating any other sides. I'd say probably about 3 meals out of that. So for 10, you know, for $5, we got 10 meals worth, which is at least 3 days, which funny enough, the original challenge was 3 days. So we did it again. Now let's go on to the second group and see what we did. Okay, friends, group 2. So I feel like this one made a lot less food, but it seems more flavorful, at least the entree options. I did try to include some, you'll notice some breakfast in these. I was lazy on this one, I'll be real, because I'm not a huge breakfast person. So I just went with the rice cakes all by themselves as the meal. If you have peanut butter in the house, if you have jelly, if you have anything like that, mustard, you know, you could just top them. Easy peasy. These are, let's see, gluten-free, vegan, yay. But about 17 of these in a pack, okay? So I said this would be like about 3 meals, honestly, especially if you have peanut butter or something else to top them with. Now this, I tried these meatballs and they had Indian spices to them, which made them really nice and flavorful. I cooked them and then I put them in this tomato soup to make meatball soup. As you can see, it kind of fell apart a little bit. They were real soft. They were true veggie meatballs, like just veggies, not soy or meat substitutes so much. And I think that's why they kind of fell apart a little bit, but I don't mind, honestly, because you've still got that flavor in there, right? And you've still got, it's just the texture's a little different. You don't have the big meatballs. You just have littler pieces. No big deal. It's good. The tomato soup really works well. I got a really tiny piece of the meatball, so I'm trying to get a bigger one here. Let's see. The Indian spices work well with the tomato soup, which, you know, if you've ever had Indian food, they have a lot of tomato-based sauces, so it totally works. Very good. Didn't really, I can't remember, did I add salt and pepper? It doesn't really even need anything. Like, it's good that way, but you can add salt and pepper, obviously. Now, that I think would be 2 servings, probably. So we're up to 5. So I told you not as much this time. Now this is still a little hot because I just took it out of the bin. Now this is what I did with the pizza. So I took the rest of the tomato soup, actually a little bit of the tomato soup first before I did the soup with the meatballs and used the rest for the meatball soup. And just did it with concentrated, not mixing the water with it. Toasted that veggie burger and put it on top. Now this is very plain. right? I added some Italian seasoning, but that's all I did because I'm trying to work off what somebody would have in their house if they only had $5 to spend on food for a few days. But if you have any veggies, if you have any cheese, if you have, you know, any other toppings that you can think of, like you can throw them on there and go for it. Do you have some pickles? Like whatever, you know? But I just did it real plain like this, just so I could, you know, be true to the experiment. But let's see what we got here. It's pretty good. And the veggie burgers are the kind where you can actually taste the veggies, which is nice. Obviously, I'd like some cheese. But if you're vegan, you wouldn't, or you'd use fake cheese, whatever. But it's pretty good. This pizza, I'd say, you know, there were 2 veggie burgers and I split them. So I'd say this pizza would probably be 2 servings. Because you want a whole veggie burger, try to at least get the protein and get filled up, right? So where are we at? 3, 5, 7 total. So last time we had 10. This is less. I felt like the other one had a much better breakfast. This one had much better meal options as far as savory and satiating tasty. But remember, you can add spices, any spices you have in your house to anything. Try it out, especially these things when you're talking tomato soup, coconut milk, gnocchi, all those things soak up the flavor like mad. So you can really do any kind of spices. So there you go. There's your another $5 meals. If you want to see me do it in another store, let me know, or in another budget. We can try $10, $25, you know, challenge me. It's fun, right? Or if you want to see other kinds of vegetarian content or not, whatever, let me know. If you like the videos, please subscribe below, and thank you for watching Veggie Every Day.